So heat number 3 is underway. Monique works the best to get going for New South Wales.
Julie Brims was aware she wasn't going to seriously challenge the big guns at the Open Age National Championships. But she was disappointed a quad strain suffered a month before the championships hampered her performance, as her times were much slower than previously recorded during the season. But if we rewind her season, we'll see how far Brims has come in season 2020-21.
When I joined the squad, I did go and see a nutritionist, dietitian, and she helped me with my food because I am a poor eater. I don't like putting on weight, so she did help me make sure I eat enough protein and at the right time. So I've covered that. I have always been fast, but I've never been coached correctly. I've never had technique, and I never did weights. I might have done a few at home, but I was never given a proper weights program. So now that I'm doing proper weights and I'm being technically coached correctly, I think that's the reason why I've continued to improve. I could probably do with a bit more muscle on me, but I'm managing.
Yeah, I think as women we're never entirely happy with our bodies, are we?
No, not at all.
Yeah, but in a way we should be, because it is what we have, and we just have to work with it to the best of our abilities.
Most of it.
Yeah. Is there an athlete or an event or something that has happened that has really inspired you to keep going?
It was my surgery to keep going, because when you're lying in bed and you can't move and you're in such pain, you had to find something to keep you motivated. Otherwise, I could have just dropped off. Really, because it wasn't real good, and that was really what inspired me to keep running. And I just really, and there was world champs were on in Lyon, was it?
Lyon,
yes. Was on at the time I was in hospital, so I was getting updates, and I was thinking, if only I was there, and I wish I could run again. So it was mainly that, and then once I got the coach that I have now, that's really inspired me, because I know how lucky I am to be in the squad I'm in, and I'm grateful, and I just want to make sure that I do and I can perform for them. That inspires me every day to make sure I get there and train on time, do what they ask me to do.
Much of Julie Brims' sporting prowess she's acquired from her father, Noel Coggle. The footballer turned canoeist won the 1959 Gympie to Merewether Endurance Canoe Race with his partner, Les Buckley.
I did my once-a-year school carnival, and I did 2 seasons of Layt. I can't say I didn't care for athletics, but I was so involved with basketball. It was just live free basketball. I was at the basketball court every day of the week. I just take myself there, and it was just something to do in the off season, and it was fun. And I actually did well at athletics when I did do it, but it wasn't my main priority back then. I didn't start competing until I moved to Muswellbrook, and I took up athletics then. I think it was 2001, because I started refereeing basketball, and then my children joined. Yes, 2001, and then I joined in while they were doing it, and then I thought it was a good way to stay fit for my refereeing, and then I just discovered that I liked that more than refereeing. I qualified fastest for the 100 final, but then I got balked a little bit. My nerves took over and I ran 3rd in the 100, and then I was so upset with myself because I knew I could win that one, and I was so upset that I got nervous, and that in the 200 I came out and sort of smashed that, and I won the 200, and I also did long jump and triple jump at the time, and I got bronze in both of those, which I was pretty thrilled with because I'd only just started doing the jumps that year. It's taught me that if you're going to get nervous, you're just going to blow everything you went there to do. You know, you let the nerves get in the way, then don't bother turning up. Go and sit in the stands and watch. So that's something that I've had to really overcome. But I'm getting there. I'm out here this weekend and I'm competing, and I wasn't nervous one bit. I was just enjoying, even I guess because I knew, with my injury at the minute, but I wasn't nervous and I was just enjoying the moment of getting out there. And I know being in this sort of competition, it's not my competition to win. So when I go to a Worlds again, it's like, well, that's mine. So, and I can do it. Yeah.
Despite Brims stating open age competitions are not hers to win, she's made a fair fist of it, being a finalist at the Queensland Championships and a semi-finalist at the ACT Championships in the 100 metres. She's most proud of the fact her fellow open age sprinters view her as a fellow competitor, and they've been very supportive of her running with them. Athletics royalty in hurdling Olympic gold medalist Sally Pearson also spoke to Brims at the National Championships and relayed to her positive feedback about her groundbreaking performances over the 2020-21 track and field season.
First Masters Championship I went to, I can't remember what age group it was, but it was a men's long jump event, and they were, 75, 80, and there were these three men, and they were so competitive and jumping with such good form and kind of almost sledging each other, but they weren't. And I just happened to watch this competition. It really drew me in. I was kind of like, wow, if I can still do that as I age, and I was only 35 then, that was one of the things that really inspired me, is just watching these older people compete. And I guess I've then always just gone, yes, Masters is this full age group, but it's been important to be able to promote the younger Masters, because the sport needs to continue by younger people coming through, and so it's just really important to, I guess, have this conversation, and because we're in that middle range now, and you know, we can connect with the younger ones but also understand the older ones too. So,
and I think once I did my first Worlds, then I got the bug. And
absolutely.
Like, you know, I'm always going to do this because it's just so exciting. Even though I'm actually quite a shy, introvert type of person, you know, I still push myself because deep down that's what I really want to do. So as nervous as I get before events and things, you know, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing and push myself.
No, I understand that. So we've missed World Championships last year. We've missed World Championships this year. Fingers crossed that 2022 goes ahead.
Yes, I'm hoping so. Yeah, I'm keen to get my accommodation and flights booked, but I thought I'd better hold off just a little bit because I did have everything booked for the last ones. But it's been good doing the open meets as well, because at least I get a lot more competition, and so that's been really helpful.
You're out here doing what a lot of other Masters athletes would love to be doing, competing open age, especially at your age. And
I'm the oldest female here.
I think you might be the oldest competitor full stop.
Oh, okay.
It's fantastic because I mean, I'm a 65 model and you're about 66 model, so so I think a lot of Masters athletes are very proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Julie.
Thank you.
Really good because I went and had 6 good throws yesterday, and I'm just trying to focus on the really good meets and not focus on the other ones. So yeah, I have a feeling today I'm going to throw well.
Speaker Janet, here she comes. How's she going to do today? So,
Oh, she's going to go really well.
yeah, I think so.
I hope so. Yeah.
He's in a good space, training well.
Sure is.
Just been pretty relaxed out here this morning.
The fact that I've done a high performance meet already sort of makes me feel not so as nervous, even though I still am nervous.
And you've been out here using the circle and you're familiar with the venue and all that sort of stuff.
Training
It's
for 2
exciting.
weeks. Yeah.
It is exciting. She's come so far,
Yeah, it's awesome.
since she first started. When did you start? 10 years ago or more?
No, it's not even that.
Geelong.
Oh, I didn't even throw in Geelong.
Did you just run down there?
Yeah, I know I threw, but I didn't do hammer. I never did hammer. I think I started throwing probably 2015, which I was only throwing like 18 metres standing throw.
What's your best?
42.34.
So that's in, what, 4 years, pretty much? 3.5, 4 years.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to introduce you to the field for the final of the women's under-20 triple jump right in front of the main grandstand. Jumping from position number 1 in New South Wales, Annika Lynch. From position 2 from Victoria, Isabella Harper. From Queensland, Ella Woodman. Today I just focused on myself and focused on getting a distance in, and I didn't get
We had 3 clean throws, so that was good. So what was your best throw out of those?
the last one.
Yeah.
So I think the first one was an easy throw, and then the second one I was trying to push it a bit more, and then the last one I really put my effort into the last throw to try and get it out there a bit further, but still shortening the shoulders a little bit. It doesn't matter.
That second throw looked like you hooked it a little bit over to the left.
I didn't finish it. Dad was telling me I didn't actually finish it. She said my second throw was probably the better throw.
Okay.
But she said I needed to finish it. So,
Yeah.
And I know when I get, when you finish a throw. Well, I didn't. So.
Yeah. Okay. So it would have been good to get 6 throws.
Probably. Yeah. I reckon I just started warming up.
Always do athletics, did you?
In high school, I did athletics, but I never threw hammer. So I came back to athletics at 42, but I don't think I started to throw a hammer till I was about 45, I think.
Okay. So did you do hammer in Perth at the World Championships
Yes, I
in
did.
Perth? So
Yes,
that
I
would
did.
have been one of your first competitions?
Big major competitions.
Yes. Okay. So you've come a long way since then.
Well, I only threw, I think, about 32 metres there.
Okay. And so you've got a PB now of
42.
Whereabouts did you do that?
At the Throwers Club out at Greystone.
So that was your qualifier for nationals.
I threw the day before at Rotary a 42.29, but that wouldn't have got me to qualify because it wasn't a permit meet. But then I went the next day to the Throwers Club and threw to qualify there.
When you're saying that, like, you did some athletics in high school, but then you came back to athletics at 42, you've done some other sports, haven't you?
Softball. I played reps. I made, I think I was, again, the oldest in the Opens rep team, I think it was. I think it was Waratah League, so I think the next youngest was 21, and then they were all under 18 girls, so yeah.
Yeah. So why did you give up softball to come to athletics?
Softball is a team sport, and if everyone doesn't put the effort in to go to training and competing all the time, I just found every week it was like 4 players week in, week out, and you know, people weren't really committed to it. And I thought, well, if I went back to athletics, because how I came about was my friend Paul. I met my friend Paul, and he was doing athletics, and I said to him, I said, oh, you don't mind me coming back to athletics, because I actually love sprinting. And he said, oh no, and so that's what got me back into athletics, because I didn't realise there was actually athletics when I was at school.
Until under 15s in WA. Did a couple of years of the open athletics, about 2 or 3. And then by that stage I was doing year 12, studying, heading off to uni, working, all of that sort of thing. So I didn't know in what capacity in the future I would come back to it. But I actually kept my spikes. And they travelled with me and moved house with me even through my 20s. And then Zach started Lil A's. So I started helping out coaching there and found out about Masters Athletics. So, yeah, I started Masters in the 2009-10 season. Did the first Nationals, which were in Perth. And, yeah, just stayed with it. Love it. It's my life. I really enjoyed it when I was younger and made the WA state team in under 15s for the triple jump. When I first came back to doing athletics, I was training for like half an hour a week and doing our Thursday night comp. It was just about getting back into it, and as Zach got older and more independent, I could train more, and now it's a major part of my life. I'm training 4 to 5 times a week, doing weights, doing Pilates, nice range of training, yeah. I've always enjoyed doing the sprinting. I also enjoy the short hurdles and my long jump and triple jump. The pentathlon and the heptathlon, it's just an amazing experience. Going around with the group, the camaraderie that we experience is phenomenal. It's an awesome way to finish off like the nationals when we're doing the pentathlon, even at world level. I've done it twice in Perth and in France, and I did the indoor in South Korea. Yeah, it's phenomenal. I love it. My first Worlds was in 2013 in Brazil. I competed in the 100, the long jump and the triple jump. In the 100, I made the final and finished 7th, which was very exciting. In the long jump, I came home with the gold, and in the triple jump, I came home with the gold. In 2014, I headed to Hungary for the World Indoors. I did the 60 metres, the long jump and the triple jump. I won my heat in the 60, but then pulled out of the semi because it was going to be run at 11 o'clock at night, and the next day I was going to be triple jumping at 11 o'clock in the morning. So I made the decision to give that a miss, and then I came out in the triple jump and I jumped out of my skip and jumped further than I ever had by like 30 centimetres and came home with the silver medal. And the lovely lady that beat me competed at the 2000 Sydney Olympics in the triple jump. That was very cool. And then in the long jump, she also came out in the last round and overtook me. I finished with the silver, but I also once again jumped out of my skin, and it was like a 20 centimetre PB. And that was amazing competing indoors, amazing competing on a race runway. 2015, headed to Europe and France for the World Outdoors. There I did the heptathlon and finished 4th. I did the long jump and in the last round got pipped again, so came home with the silver and won the triple jump. We had the Worlds at home, not just in our country, but actually in my hometown. And that was so special, being able to jump in front of my family. Mum travels with me to all my events, but to compete in front of my dad and my son and my coach, it's an experience that I'll never get again. Did the heptathlon, finished 4th. Long jump, finished 2nd. And the lady that beat me had just come back from competing at the Rio Olympics.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah, big wow. And then I won the triple jump. I went to Spain, came home with the bronze in the triple jump and the gold in the long jump. 2019, went to Poland, came home with the gold in the long jump and the bronze in the 4x200 relay. And now we're waiting for our next one.
The first wave of COVID-19 in Australia causes 910 deaths. Toilet paper shelves empty and there's a shortage of other staples such as rice and pasta due to panic buying. To go last year and then COVID came. The reason I hadn't made the trip in the years before when I had qualified was because I was going to come from WA, and it's a long way to come from WA to the East Coast, compete. It's financially expensive, and when I was trying to do the Masters Nationals as well and then travel to a World Comp, the finances just don't stretch that far. Whereas 2 and a bit years ago, I moved to Victoria. So last year, we already knew that the Masters Nationals had been cancelled, and coming up from Melbourne to Sydney is very cheap.
all support each other, and you get to know the people in your state. So I support, even though they're my competitor, I still support them. I love to see people succeeding, and like Chloe was carrying a small injury and still came out with the bronze medal, which is brilliant. I was born and raised in WA. I love it. It's a phenomenal place to live. In terms of like athletics facilities, doesn't match what we have here in Victoria. Every almost suburb has an athletics track, it feels like, whereas over in WA we've got 3 across from north to south. So I've had the opportunity now to travel to various places around the world with the athletics, and to me, WA is still the best. It's home. Just out of the metro area in Perth, so up in the hills of WA. So for most of my life we've been on small hobby farms with the horses and the dogs and the cats. I'm really fortunate because we're one block back from a lovely park that has trails that go north and south, so I can just get onto like a nature trail that takes me through to the city, or I can go the other direction. So yeah, my dog and I have walked many kilometres along those trails.